Hi, sharks. It is financial sharktress Galit Sadiq. I got an interesting topic to talk to you about today. It's a topic that we kind of all forget about, and it's designed that way. It is one of the sneakiest tactics that could be eating into your wallet. So these are gray charges, ghost charges, and zombie charges. They sound scary. um, but they're made to be kind of annoying, and so annoying and something that you'd forget about. So basically, what they are, it's a sneaky tactic used by companies to charge customers for services that they either didn't knowingly sign up for or that they no longer use. Those kind of charges can add up over time, and they can really have a significant impact on your savings, right? Because if you had that extra $5 a month, $10 a month, you would be putting that towards your savings, or you'd be investing that, or you'd be putting it towards something intentional. And the biggest issue with these are there's no intention behind it, right? You did not intentionally move this money to the company. Um, you did you te- in most cases you didn't authorize it, or you authorized something else and they transferred you into it. So let's talk about gray charges first. They are charges that are technically legal, right? But they're going to be hidden in the fine print of a contract or a subscription. Now, this is like free trials that you do that turn into paid subscriptions, um, auto renewals of things that were originally free, um, charges for things that weren't specifically requested by you, the customer. So think about all of those free trials that you do, and there's a lot of free trials out there, and if you want to take advantage of them, please take advantage of them. But the best way to make sure that you don't continue to pay for it, especially if you don't want to continue using it, is to mark it off on a calendar. Have your calendar notify you when to cancel it, because sometimes you have to cancel it, 10 days before it ends. You have to cancel it in writing. There's all of these fine print type of things that you should know up front and prepare for, so that you don't end up losing yet another month to that charge. Um, Always read the fine print of any contract. I know that's so hard to do, um, but a lot of the stuff that you want is going to be in a lot of the stuff that you need to know. A lot of the things that are going to be important for you are going to be in the fine print. So, as much as possible, especially if you're signing a contract, read all of the fine print. Um, the other thing is those terms and conditions, right? We always like just click. Maybe scan it. Just scan it and see if anything jumps out to you. A lot of times it's a lot of legal jargon. You can kind of just scan right over it and go to what like jumps out at you. But it's a good idea just to kind of look for any clauses that are related to automatic renewals or additional fees, right? Those are both things that you want to think about. Um, then we have zombie charges. So, zombie charges are things that you're still being billed for even after you canceled or stopped the service. This could be because of a technical glitch. This could be because of like a miscommunication between some departments, or this could be intentional fraud by the company. The first thing that you have to do is contact the company. Do that in writing. if at all possible. If you speak to somebody on the phone, make sure to write down the date, the time, who you spoke to, and any identifier. So if they give you like a number for the like a case number or a confirmation number for the conversation, or an identifier for them specifically. So like a lot of times they'll just give you a first name, maybe ask for the last initial, ask if they're the only, if it's their name is Jane in the department. I want you to get as much information and write it down, because the more information that you have written down, the better of a case you have. So you want to try with the company first, phone call, do it by email, do it in writing, however you can, just keep a record of it. And then if it still keeps happening, you've got to contact your bank or credit card to dispute the charges. And if you have that in writing where you wrote, hey, I've asked to cancel this, I called on this and this date to cancel, and you told me it would be canceled, that you take to the credit card or the bank, and they will actually dispute all of the charges from that date. So be sure to like keep a record. And it's super easy to do that just using, I like to use the Notes app on my phone, right? I feel like that is a great place to just jot things down. If it's important, I pin it. I can also do searches. However you're going to do it, you can use Google Docs. You could use really anything. Just keep like a running record so that you have it for yourself. Ghost subscriptions. So ghost subscriptions are subscriptions that you signed up for when buying something else online. So there's also something called ghost renewals, which happen when you're signing up for a subscription or a trial period, and the business purposely hides the fact that it auto renews, or it doesn't display the renewal date, so you don't know when to cancel it by. And so that allows them to charge and continue to charge without your knowledge. So how do you deal with those? The best way to deal with all of these charges is to make sure that you're looking at your bank and credit card statements, because the sooner you catch them, the sooner you can get rid of them, the sooner you can dispute them, right? If you let them go on for months and months and months, it is very hard to get the money back from those previous months. I actually had, I'll tell you something that happened to me personally. So I have a Verizon family plan, and I added my husband to my family plan. And when I did, I also, so I have me and my husband and one other person on the plan. And what ended up happening is, because the amount, I have it on auto pay, and because the amount was anyway bigger than I was used to seeing, I didn't like fully look through the statement. When I fully looked through the statement months later, I realized that without my knowledge, the company had allowed a third party to come in, add insurance that I never requested to the phones, and add like another service. And when I saw it, I immediately called, but I was only able to get like 3 months worth of refunds. And I'm actually still fighting it to this day, because that was totally not okay. And they said that because I paid the bill, I okayed it, which is not right, right? I didn't request that, and it has to be taken out. And so that's why I'm still fighting it. But those are the kind of things that can happen. So you need to look at the statement, and no one is immune. I look at my bank and credit card statements and I was not immune because I expected my phone bill to be higher. And so when it was higher, I didn't blink about it, right? And they knew that, right? They knew that I had just added a phone line. And so my phone bill would be higher and I wouldn't question an extra $10 added to the bill. Well, guess what? I found it and I questioned it. So that's how you combat these things. You have to look. Sticking your head in the sand is it's just a waste of money, right? It's just money going out of your pocket into that company's pocket that did something unsavory, right? They did something not right. Now you're giving them money, and that's less money that you have to put towards your goals. Another type of thing that happens a lot is like free to pay deals. So read the deal, right? It might be free this month and it might charge you later. You want to know, you want to cancel on time. You want to be careful when you sign up for these promotions, and please make sure to write down any dates that you have to cancel by, to, the date that it switches over to a paid plan. Any information, the more information you have, the better of a chance that you have to combat these things. Any information, the more information you have, the better your bank account will look and the more control you have over your finances, right? You don't want to fall victim to the gray charges, to the ghost charges, to the zombie charges. If you have any other questions about it, let me know. If there's always, I'll just give you like rundown. You see it, you see the charge. What do you do now? First step, always contact the company, right? Try to give them a chance to do the right thing. If they do not do the right thing and they continue to charge you, that's when you take further action. Make sure to get it in writing. Make sure to document when you spoke to them, who you spoke to, and any other information, and then move on to your bank or credit card statement. Now, I always feel that when doing these kind of subscriptions and stuff, I generally like to do it on a credit card rather than a debit card, because I feel like it's easier to dispute a credit card than a debit card. The other thing is like the hardest to dispute, right, is an ACH transfer. So that is when you write down your routing and bank account number, and then they pull the money out. Those are so hard to dispute. It's not impossible, but it is way harder. So keep things like that to a credit card, because the worst comes to worst, what can you do? You can cancel the credit card, right? And then they are no longer able to charge. You can dispute it as fraud because you've asked to cancel or you never signed up for it. You can dispute it as fraud, and then they'll send you a new credit card number and you will still maintain the credit card account. With a bank account, it's a little bit harder, right? You'll have to close down that bank account. They'll have to open you a new one. A lot of times when this happens, you lose online access to the accounts for a week or something. And if you have like big bills being paid out of your bank account, that screws up all of those automatic payments. Like, let's say you have your rent payment coming out of there, or you've got your mortgage payment, or you've got this, or you've got that. Like, all of those things, or even all of your credit card payments, right? You're paying all of your credit cards out of your bank account. Now that bank account number changes, everything has to change, right? You have to go to each one of those things and make sure that they're pulling from the new account. So that's another little thing. Like, if you're going to sign up for these things, keep it on a credit card and then you'll have an easier time disputing. So if you've got any questions about zombie, ghost, or gray charges, please reach out to me. If you just want to share a situation that happened to you or ask for advice, I'm always here for you. I'm Financial Sharkdress on all of the platforms. Instagram, it's financial_sharkdress. You can email me, and you can even just book a time on my calendar for a free 15-minute chat. I have links everywhere. If you want, you can DM me and I'll give you a link. I'm happy to talk to you about anything and everything that you see in your on your financial statements, in your financial life. Like, I'm here for you. So please reach out. Let me be a resource. And I will be back next Monday with another episode of Money Monday Live. Thank you all for being here, Sharks. And if you are in my Facebook group or following my Galit Speaks YouTube, you will see I have another podcast episode coming up on Wednesday. So I'll see you all later. Have a great night, Sharks. Bye-bye.